Hi everyone, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. It's Chris from Chris's O Scale. It's been a while since my last update, and I figured it's about time I do one. I haven't had a whole heck of a lot of time since the last one to do much, but I did get enough done that I figure, it's time to do another update and show you what I've been doing and what I got done here. I'd like to thank all the new subscribers for subscribing to my channel and all the great comments and feedback I get on my videos. So thank all you guys, and Happy New Year to you all. Like I said, it's been busy. Probably the last one I did was like out in, I think, October, September, the last update. And since then, I have gotten a few things done, managed to squeeze in a few hours here and there between doing yard work and, putting away the summer furniture and getting ready for winter and all that stuff there. And, then the holidays roll up, decorating the front of the house and, just been busy with that stuff, work and doing what I got to do. Well, my normal daily routine, and so with that, I'll go ahead and show you what I've managed to accomplish over the past few months. First of all, I did the outer borders, the outer perimeter of my layout with this hardboard or fascia board, whatever it's called, and kind of dress it up and give it a cleaner look. And I figured before the weather turned, so I could cut all this stuff out in the driveway by the garage there, and I figured I'd do that. And like I said, before the weather got ahead of me, and it'd be trying to do it in between crummy days or whatever. What I did was leave it up about an inch off the table there to act as a border to hold my scenery in on ground covers and stuff, and also act as a protection if God forbid one of the trains derail and fall off the track and derail or something and head for the edge of the table. But yeah, that's what I did over here. I did it all the way around. Eventually I'd like to hang a curtain or some kind of material along the edge of this, from the bottom of the border I put in, and have it continue around, kind of dress it up, give it a cleaner look, and hide my shelving underneath that I got a bunch of boxes and stuff stored on. But that's what I did here. I think it came out pretty good. I'm no carpenter or great at measuring and stuff. It was kind of a pain in the butt to hold these sheets up and by myself and use the clamps. The clamps were kind of difficult the way it's framed out here to get them to hold them while I measured and marked off where I wanted to cut. But it all came together with a little time and a little effort, so that's what I did there. Also, this corner here I've been working on. I'm going to do like a water scene in here. I took some of the pink styrofoam and carved it out into a rock outcrop in here along the edge of this corner and the edge of the outer loop that loops up the grade there to the upper level. And, I added my ground covers and ballast the outside of the track, and added some trees and foliage and stuff in here. And like I said, it's the pink styrofoam that I pretty much used on the whole layout here to do all my rock formations and stuff. And I kind of like the effect it gets. It's pretty easy to carve and mess with to get it to look semi-realistic there. And I'll paint it in a latex gray and then go over it with a bunch of acrylic washes and stuff, some raw amber and some black to highlight the cracks and stuff, and what else, some just some different colors to give it some tones and depths and stuff. And then I go over it with dry brush it with some white to give the tips of the rocks some highlights and stuff. So Also in this area here, I'm not quite done with the edge of the rock formation where it meets where the water's going to be, or the, I guess, shoreline or whatever over here. I'm probably going to do some kind of sand or gravel finish here, and then add some rocks and debris in there and along the rocks, and also go along it with a thin coat of clear silicone. Same with the where the hardboard meets up with the edge of the table here. I still got a bit of a gap here. I'll fill it with some silicone, clear silicone. They say to seal everything up pretty good before you use that realistic water, and I'm going to give that stuff a whirl here and see how it comes out. Eventually probably add some ducks or swans and maybe a few people fishing or kids playing or something, a little rowboat or something out here. But I'm going to go with some type of water scene in this corner here. And hopefully it'll come out good. You know, it'll be my first attempt at it. I got a couple other areas I'd like to do some water scenes with. And, you know, I figure this would be a good place to start in a small area to give it a whirl. So we'll see how it all works out. Also up here I used the pink styrofoam to, I don't know how well you can see it, but this is kind of graded upward to this level here to give it some depth for where the track runs through, and some terrain look or whatever. And I used the pink styrofoam on that. This was all open, so I decided finally to box it all in and build up. I used some crinkled up newspaper, taped it down, and went over it with plaster cloth to give me that mound, and added the bushes and ground cover and different foliages and stuff, and I figured I'd give it that's kind of what I was going for in that area there, to give it a little bit of an overgrown look. Also, I added this hobo shack, you know, the abandoned water tower over here. I figured it looked pretty good because it's old, weathered looking and beat up. I didn't do anything really to it. I carved the styrofoam to get it to recess in the ground there, to kind of blend it in with the ground covers that I'm going to use. And I thought it would look nice over here with the factory that I got going on. Also on that loading dock, I extended it out with a piece of 1x1 there because it was pretty narrow, what came with that building there. And I kind of, I don't know, for lack of a better term, kit bashed this all together, because I think Bachman or Placidville or someone makes that, you know, that background building there. And like I said, I extended the dock out a bit to put that little forklift on it, and gonna add some crates and maybe another dock worker or something over there, and eventually place a boxcar or two over in this area. Like, you know, this is their stop at the factory, warehouse, whatever it is here. Also, you know, I didn't do nothing to this. I left it the way it came from Lionel. I've had it for about a year and a half. Got it at a train show, and you know, finally decided this would be a good spot for it. I was going to stick one of those industrial water towers over here by MTH. I got one, that red and white checker one. I kind of propped it up in there, and I didn't really like, you know, it looked too cluttered. So I'll probably find another spot for that eventually, and use it in another area. Our jury's still out. It could still wind up here eventually. Also in this area here, I got some stuff I'm waiting to come, that knock 12 millimeter grass. I saw Scenic Trackside Scenery. He did a video on how he does his weeds and stuff, and sprays the 3M adhesive down, and then rolls that stuff up into like a cigar and kind of dabs it along, and it looks almost like static grass. It gives it a stand up, like it's standing effect. And so I'm going to try that in this area here, because I kind of like the look of that. I've seen it in a few guys' videos where they've done it. And also over here, I added this little grove between the road and the track here, which is also behind this Plasticville fruit stand. I added a light inside of that, put a vehicle out front, a woman inside like she's shopping there, and there's a couple people around. Guy with a cowboy hat, I guess he's the owner, the farmer or whatever that owns it, and a couple of his farm hands and tractor over here. And that's what I did over there. I think it came out pretty decent. Added a little different little scene in the layout over here. I also started populating my town and adding some vehicles there. I put a few people on the sidewalks and have them like, you know, typical people walking around town. Added a couple more people to my passenger platform over there and passenger depot, and just kind of giving it a few accents, a little character here and there. Also on top of this Woodland Scenics building, I added I had the Miller Engineering sign there. It's the Cracker Jack one, but I added that guy. He looks like a painter, like he's getting ready to climb up the frame in there and do some work up there and paint, and then do what he got. Got a woman on the fire escape on her out there on her balcony overlooking the back of the parking lot area. Put her in there. Also added some people into the courtyard area here, and coming out of the department store over here. And like I said, I'll be adding more stuff as I go along, come up with some ideas. So that's what I did over there as far as adding some population and doing some things around town and on this side of the table. Over here I had a problem with this switch track, so I had to basically tear all this section apart and replace that switch. You know, I'm kind of sorry, it's kind of too late that I went with the Real Tracks by MTH. Had a lot of problems with it. Had a lot of problems with a lot of their product. You know, a few engines I had to send back right out of the box. And you live and learn. If I ever did this again, I wouldn't use their track. I'd probably use Atlas or Gargraves. And just one more thing. Mark Zoscale, he did a quick video on he got some of the new sound cars, and I ordered these about a year or so ago when the catalog came out, and they came in Monday, and so I put them on the track to try them out. You know, I usually, something like this, I'll put underneath. There's the original ones that came out, the original Vision ones. This time I got the Santa Fe's, and they go nice with the big boy setup here. And you know, usually I'll get something and it'll sit under my table forever. Also, I've got some more modern freight cars going on here, and got a couple more under the table I didn't pull out. So I hope to be pulling out a few engines that I've had for a year or better now that haven't even been programmed into my legacy yet. You know, I got the Norfolk Southern 44, a Norfolk Southern Pennsylvania Heritage, and a Norfolk Southern SD 70. So I hope to do a running session with them maybe before I go back to work this week. And also there's another one of them sound cars that they put out, and you know, I like them so far. They sound pretty good. So with that, I'm going to end. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas.